Productivity. On Monday, we talked about self-mastery. Yesterday, we talked about planning mastery. And today, we're talking about delegation mastery. And these three things, if you master them and put them together, will make your week so much more productive and you'll achieve so much more towards your goals, your dreams, your plans, what it is that you want to get out of life. And you're here this morning with Martin Baillie, your business coach. And we're here every morning, 8:45 to 9 o'clock to start your day smart. So please come and join us, like and share, get those love hearts going. Let's build this community. And if you're around, let me know you're there. Say hi in the chat box, say good morning, share your thoughts with this sort of stuff, share your feelings, share the experiences you've had to enhance somebody else that's watching the live stream or putting comments in the chat box. They'll get lots out of it. So just engage with it. Let's get some stuff going. Let's get some stuff flowing in there. So anyway, as I said, the plan this week was to improve productivity, to get a better understanding of it. We started with the self mastery on Monday, looking at how we're using our time, what's taking up our time, what's distracting us from being productive. And then yesterday we looked at planning, so actually taking that information and how do we use that to plan our time better, looking at what our big rocks are, putting them in ahead of all our pebbles and our sand, what's going to make us money, what's going to stop us losing money becoming a priority, and building them into your diary in terms of time. And now today we're going to look at delegation, and this is the final piece of the jigsaw puzzle where you can actually find more time and make space for you to have more time, to spend more time working on your business. So this all came about, actually, it's funny because yesterday I was having this conversation, and the conversation was with a client of mine around productivity. And it sparked off a bit of a thought in my head around abdication and delegation. Because there's two things there, and they are very, very, very different things. And it got me thinking. It actually got me to a point where I started telling him a bit of story of when I was a young leader. And I distinctly remember back to this story because this is what I really learned about delegation. And I had a team member who was working for me, and I had this monkey in my back. And I'll refer on to a book in a minute that you probably want to read that refers to monkeys and monkeys being tasks. So I had this monkey in my back, which was to improve food margin in the business by, I think it was about 1.5%, which is quite a big number. Quite a big number. It was a big business, so that was quite a large amount of money, and subsequently a lot of work. So I sat down with this chap and said, look, John, what I'd really like you to do is I'd like you just to get out there and get the guys rallied up, and just get me even another 1.5% of the food margin. And John sort of looked at me and went, yeah, okay, I'll do that, and off he went. Now it wasn't until 6 months down the line that I kind of wondered why the monkey was still in my back and there was no results. And interestingly, as I found out as a young leader about delegation, it became really, really apparent that I had abdicated that responsibility to him. Now, what I mean by that and abdicating the responsibility to him is I didn't consider a lot of things when I was passing that task to John. If anything, I passed the task to John and thought, I don't need to worry about that. It's no longer my problem. And off I was off doing other things. There's the first mistake I made. Because what I did was I devolved ownership of that task to somebody else. But it was still my responsibility. But in my head, it wasn't any longer because I'd given it to John. The second thing I didn't consider was skills. Did John have all the right skills to enable him to do that task successfully? Because not even consider for a minute that John not being able to do the task successfully, one, would have damaged his self-confidence. Two, it's probably not a good place for his self-worth. And three, it would create quite a lot of stress because you've been asked to do something by your boss or by your leader, and you're not able to deliver for him. So naturally, your leader's eventually going to start asking questions, and that's going to create stress for John. Now, the other thing in amongst all this is, was John the right person to ask in the first place to do the task? So did I identify the person who was best to take that task on and be successful. So that's how I learned about abdication. And abdications are, at the time it feels great because you got a monkey off your back. However, for the person you've abdicated to, it can create a lot of stress, and it can actually create quite a lot of misery for that individual because they're carrying a big burden they cannot shift or they cannot improve on. Now, when you look at abdication, you look at delegation. I found that once I really truly understood delegation, I was even more effective, and I was more effective in a lot of different ways. I was more effective in terms of I had more time all of a sudden, and I was achieving results without having to do things by myself. Now, the important first step of delegation is, and I don't know, I mean, let me know, before we do that, actually, just come on, say hi. If a few of you join, come and say good morning to me. Let me know you're there. And look, don't forget to like and share this. Like and share it. Let's get this community going, get people's mindsets in the right place, and really get some good learning about, some hints and tips on how you can move your business forward and change the stuff that you're doing. So back to the delegation. So I as I learned how to delegate, or how to delegate effectively, I realized I was getting more time and I was achieving results a lot more without having done it by myself. However, there was a big first step I had to take. And that big first step was I had to really, truly accept I had to let go of some stuff. Not all stuff, but I had to let go of some stuff. Not just chuck it away, let go. And let go in such a way that I delegated the responsibility whilst maintaining the responsibility for a task or an objective. Now, if you're going to delegate properly, there are a number of different things that you need to do. The first one is, ask yourself the question I didn't ask when it was John: is this the right person for me to delegate this objective to? The second question you ask yourself is, does this person have all the skills required to do that task without any further support from me? Third question is, if the answer to question 2 is no, what skills or what support do I need to give this individual to enable them to fulfill this task or objective successfully? Once you've done all that, you've established you've got the right person, you know what you need to do to support that person, you now need to go through a number of different stages. The first stage is you've got to be really clear with the individual that you're delegating to what it is, or what the task, what the objective is that you're delegating. And that's when I say clear, I mean really clear in terms of what is the brief? What is it I'm asking you to do? So in John's case, I shut that down and said, look, John, what I'm asking you to do here is to improve food margin by 1.5%. There you go. Very clear brief. That's what. Then you've got to talk them through about why you're asking them to do it. Why is it important? Get them to understand you're giving them a really important job. Why are you giving that job to them? And that's so in John's case, that would have been, look, John, this is really, really important because we've got some big cost increases coming in liquor. We need to offset that with improving the food margin. We know there's a gap in there. We know there's more food margin to be had. And look, you're the right man for the job because you'll go out there and you'll start coaching the guys and getting under the skin of what's going on in the kitchens to move this margin forward. So John now knows why he's so important and why the task that I've given him is really important. The final part of that jigsaw puzzle is when. So John, now that we understand what the task is and why you've got it, let's look at when. Let's look at when. So when are we going to review it? Well, let's actually review progress every 3 weeks. How does that work for you? Yeah, that works great. So I've set the review progress, and then we actually need to achieve this by the end of the financial year. So John now knows the timeline he's got to achieve the final result, and he knows he's going to be sitting down with me every 2-3 weeks to review where we're going. So all of a sudden, John feels quite comfortable about the fact that he's got added responsibility for me, because he realizes I'm not just passing it on to him and running for the hills. He realizes that I'm passing on to him because I believe he's the right man to do the job. And 2, I'm still holding responsibility because I'm doing reviews with them all the way through the objective and the task. So that's the 2 differences between abdication and delegation, and a bit of a personal experience for me of when I was a young leader and I had to understand that and understand the differences and how the output of that, and what that meant to me. Now, as I said, the key thing here is being able to take the first step. And that first step being that you need to understand that you can't do everything. You've got to let go of some stuff. And let go of the right stuff. Use your list. Use your time list of things that are going, and things that you want to do but you don't need to do. They're the first things you should either delegate or outsource. Because I know you want to do them, but you don't need to do them. Somebody else can do them. It's just you won't let go of them. So you've got to take the first step and identify what you can let go of and pass it on. Outsource it, delegate it to a team member. You will create 3, 4, 5 hours a week that you can then work on your business, growing sales, doing your marketing, growing your business, going out and meeting clients, whatever it is that's going to generate income and profit for you. You've got 5 hours a week you'll create to do more of that. So remember, delegate, don't abdicate. Take the first step, identify what you can delegate, and then let go of it. Just let go of it. So look, we've got those 3 parts now. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about how bring all those 3 parts together, a bit of a summary of the week, and how that then drives true productivity. So remember, go out there, get that list, identify what you can delegate, and go and take the first steps and let go. And I'll see you all tomorrow morning, 8:45 to 9 a.m. as usual. Thank you very much. See you then.